Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Co-CEO and President, Peter McKay.
Hello. Welcome to VeeamON, New Orleans. It's great to see you. All of you, for me, this is the first time at VeeamON, but let me see how many people have been here. This is their first VeeamON for Veeam. How many people? That's great. Thank you for coming. We appreciate that. There's about 3,000, almost 3,000 people here today. But I'm told, there's another 3,000 or 4,000 people that we're streaming this show to, and 2,000 more that are Veeam employees. So I thought they can't see all of you today, but I thought maybe they could hear you. So what I thought is if we can make some noise. I know we were at Bourbon Street and having some fun last night, but if you could, just do me a favor. On a count of 3, can all of you say Veeam as loud as you can? On 3. 1, 2, 3. Veeam! Excellent, thank you. That worked better with you guys than my kids at home. So thank you for all coming here. We're excited. I know a lot of you came because you've heard that Veeam throws really good parties and that's what you wanted to come and witness. But for us, we feel as though this is a very important opportunity for us to share with you our customers, our partners, the analysts, a lot of people that are in the ecosystem around on our vision, our next release, our cloud strategy, and a lot more. And so I think this is a really important and impactful time for us, for Veeam, and I hope for all of you. For most of us, we've been in the industry and we've heard a lot about digital transformation. And so I witnessed that through VMware. But for me, 15 months ago, Ratmir came to me when I was at VMware, and I have a great experience with VMware, and he says, I want you to come and be a part of the leadership team at Veeam. And I said, you know, Ratmir, I'm happy, I like what I'm doing, and I don't know anything about backup. I don't know storage, I don't know the space. I know security, I know e-commerce, I know virtualization, but I don't know backup. He said, Peter, you're wrong. And those of you who know Ratmir, he can be pretty convincing. And so he said it used to be backup, and then it was replication or recovery, and then now it's about availability. Availability for the always-on enterprise that companies need. It's now mission critical that companies need to be up and running all the time. And so within 15 minutes, he had convinced me that this is where I wanted to spend my next journey in my career. And I have to say, I've been here for 10 months, and it's been a fantastic time. I've enjoyed it. It's hard work. But I've been a CEO for 4 different companies, smaller, and I've been in sales organizations for much larger. But this is the first time for me in my career that I've come into an opportunity that I didn't have to come in and change and fix and modify. This has been a company that has done fantastic and grown its business and continues to grow. So for me, it's really about improving things and not breaking things at the same time. So this is, I believe, I'm more excited today than I was when I started. Veeam is an unbelievable company, and I'm thankful to Ratmir and Andre for the opportunity and to be here in front of all of you. We live and work in an exciting time, especially in technology. It's like sitting in the front row of a boxing match, but we're actually in the ring. Professionally, I have spent over 25 years. Now I'm going to start going in reverse order, and it's going to go to 24 and 23. 25 years watching massive transformation in the market. Starting in the mainframe to client-server transition, and from client-server to virtualization, and from virtualization to cloud. Massive changes. But as a father of 3, I've seen my kids, they're now 18, 15, and 13, live truly a digital life. And so whether you're professional or personal, we are all living a digital life. And I know that sounds futuristic, but it really isn't. And it's only gaining in speed and pace. Before looking at our digital future, let me give you a little historical perspective. For anybody over the age of 30, this has been kind of a long time coming, but it started about 40 years ago with the personal computer. And it's just not about computers anymore. Just look at how far and how fast the mechanical icon, the automobile of our daily lives has changed. Today's cars have more computer capacity in them than most offices. And pretty soon we won't be driving to our office. Our cars will be the office. And we have a generation or two who have only lived digital life. They've never been in a world without a PC or wireless internet or social media or mobile phones or e-commerce. My kids today, they don't watch TV. They do Netflix. They've never seen a payphone. They never got a letter, and they don't even do email anymore. It's totally different. And I'm ashamed to say, I'm going to share one of my stories of my son that he got invited to a social, and he invited someone to a social, and he Snapchatted the girl he wanted to go with, and she accepted. And at first I was embarrassed. I'm like, you never talked to her before you invited her to this? And then I realized that's the world that the next generation. That is what's keeping me refreshed in technology and understanding what that next generation will mean for all of our businesses. But I thought this was a funny tweet. Don't get into strangers' cars. How many times were we told that when we were growing up? Never get into a stranger's car. And don't meet people on the internet. 18 years later, we are now literally getting on the internet and getting a car from a stranger, like Uber. Or we're drive sharing. We're getting into a car filled with people we don't even know. And we're going on dates with people who we meet on the internet. What a difference 18 years have made in how our lives have changed. So today, we have much different relationships with technology, as you know, as our kids have grown up. But for all of us young and not so young, technology is embedded in our lives. And we don't quite know what to do when that technology isn't available. For my kids, I think we'll all agree that we'd prefer it not to be available, especially at dinner time. So when it comes to confidence, and this confidence is a word I'm going to use a lot during my talk today. What I mean by confidence is confidence that the digital part of our lives is there where we need it, when we need it, and how we need it. That's the enterprise of today. We need to be able to be nonstop business continuity and to deliver seamless digital experience that our users, our customers, our employees, and our partners all want. And we all know this isn't easy to accomplish. We see companies scrambling today to transform their business in determining how to become relevant to the next generation of users. Users' confidence only comes through business continuity and availability. How critical really is it to deliver confidence and having nonstop business continuity to be always on with availability? With new business mantra today, there's a rule. It's nonstop. If you don't, you'll be Amazoned like Barnes & Noble and Blockbuster. Or you'll be Ubered like a lot of the taxi services out there. Or I heard the other day, Airbnb'd like the hotel industry. As we think about user experience, if your service goes down, users will go elsewhere and get the service that they want. Poor experience is just as bad as no experience. And that's why Veeam is an important part of in our customers' eyes. We are critical in delivering the availability of business continuity that enables people to have the confidence that their digital lives will proceed uninterrupted. Veeam enables our customers to not only survive, but to drive digital transformation. And what about data? Data is giving rise to a whole new economy. It's now the currency of digital transformation. From social media to internet search to subway trains to wind turbines. Apps and data and even machine devices in IoT are sparking a data growth like we've never seen before. IDC predicts that the digital universe will reach 180 zettabytes by 2025. Now I didn't know what a zettabyte was, so I had to go on. I tease my kids. I had to go on to Google. So I went on Google and I found out it's 180 followed by 21 zeros. It's a big number. And in 2015, 90% of the world's data was created over the past 2 years, over their last 2 years. And in 2016, 90% of the world's data was created in the last 12 months. And we don't have the numbers for 2017, but I'd bet that pace is only accelerating. Data today is to this century what oil was in the last century. It's the driver of massive growth and change. And it's not just about technology. It's a totally new way of doing business. In 1859, we struck oil in Pennsylvania, and what a difference that oil revolution has done. Who would have thought the impact that oil would have in terms of the applications that would derive from that? And that's the same with data. Data will change all the industries. It's creating a whole new market, a whole new industry, and it's happening fast. IDC predicts that $2.1 trillion will be spent in 2019 on technology and related services to implement and manage data initiatives. It's more than data. And this is, I think, what people are coming to realize. It's more than just accumulating data. It's about the intelligence you get from that data. And better, faster, more available data gives companies the ability to make better, faster decisions. Uber is best known for cheap and fast car service, is now worth $68 billion as of the other day. Why is it that they have such a high valuation? It's because it owns the biggest pool of data on the supply, the drivers, and the incentives that motivate the drivers, but also the supply and the user patterns. So essentially, its value is the potential of what Uber can do with that data. All industries are being impacted by this digital transformation. Who would think that a car company also being a software or an analytics company, and solar. Tesla cars, tons of driver data that allows Tesla to automatically optimize the algorithms, self-driving algorithms automatically and wirelessly. The need for applications and data to be always on and now mission critical for all companies. And this is why I got so excited about Veeam, and the need for applications and data to be always on is now mission critical for companies. You can't be in a business unless your data, your apps, your infrastructure, on and off premise, are always on and instantly available. And it's not just consumer companies. An industrial giant like GE, a 125-year-old company started by Thomas Edison. I said earlier it was Thomas Jefferson, but we changed that to Thomas Edison. So, and it reinvented their business, and they're changing. They're now a digital business. It's an example of how it's changing is the airlines now are buying thrust as a service versus buying engines. Digital transformation is now the top priority of CEOs because digital lives also include digital work lives. So how are organizations addressing confidence and continuity challenges in delivering service to the employees and their partners and their consumers that they demand? And where does Veeam fit in? And this is what I'm going to talk to you about. Our vision for the future is simple. Provide always-on availability for any service across any cloud or infrastructure. A world where users don't have to worry and make do with spotty availability problems and poor excuses as to why their information wasn't available when they needed it, where they needed it, and how they needed it. As companies strive to embrace transformation and deliver seamless, rich digital experience to the users, Veeam is here to help. Veeam enables your digital journey. Let me show you brief examples of some of the companies that we've been able to help. Volvo, great brand name, relies on Veeam to keep its dealerships up and running 100% of the time, so they can focus on what they do, sell and service cars. Veeam's platform provides instant recovery. Telefonica Germany, which operates in an industry that requires 5 nines of reliability, relies on Veeam to guarantee the digital life for 49 million customers. Gatwick Airport, can you think of something you need more available than an airport? The UK's second largest airport relies on Veeam for business continuity of its infrastructure. It's essential to restoring the VMs instantly to keep 55 aircraft up in the air every hour. And actually, I'd like to show a video. So anybody in the United States knows that the National Football League is a big franchise, and one of the most successful is the Denver Broncos. I happen to be a New England Patriot fan, but I think this would be appropriate for all of you. Let's play the video. Thanks.
Hi, I'm Chris Newman. I'm IT architect for the Denver Broncos. The Denver Broncos were one of the first NFL teams to fully embrace IT. We digitized our playbook to give coaches a fast, easy way to communicate new plays to staff and players. We built our own IT systems for scouting, training, and game day video analysis. Data is our team's digital backbone. Data helps the Denver Broncos win from within.
Hi, my name is Russ Trainer. I'm the Vice President of IT for the Denver Broncos. You can never have too much data at your fingertips, especially when the clock is ticking and decisions have to be made fast. There are 3 events that get my blood pressure going. 3 events when the clock seems to tick the loudest. One is the NFL Draft. Over the course of 3 days and 7 rounds, each NFL team selects eligible players for the upcoming season. They have 10 minutes to make a selection in round 1, 7 minutes in round 2, and only 2 minutes in their remaining rounds. When our team is on the clock to make a draft pick, data must be available every second. If data isn't available, we're in trouble. With Veeam, we don't have to worry about that. We spend months analyzing each eligible player and compiling countless statistics based on his football history. With only minutes to make a selection, we must have immediate access to our data. Data is critical for decision making. Without data, we can't pick the best players.
My name is Nick Burris. I'm a senior IT engineer at the Denver Broncos Football Club. We weren't 100% confident data would be available 24/7, 365 with legacy backup. Backup and recovery were unreliable, making us susceptible to downtime, which is unacceptable, and data loss, which is unthinkable. Our goal is for IT to be invisible, but if our systems fall apart and can't be recovered fast, IT becomes a hindrance. No one has time for old school backup. No one has time to recover data manually, especially when the clock is ticking and the future of the team is at stake.
If we don't have access to data during training camp, making cuts and finalizing our team roster is nearly impossible. IT is a competitive advantage for us, but only if data is available 24/7, 365. That's why we replaced legacy backup with Veeam Availability Suite. When the clock is ticking, we know Veeam has our back. Our data is available 24/7, 365 because Veeam is fast and reliable. Reliability is where the rubber meets the road.
Veeam does other cool things like integrating fully with VMware and NetApp. They work as one unit, so recovery from NetApp storage snapshots is fast and simple. Veeam is scalable too. Our data grows 30% each year, and Veeam scales with us. Veeam also supports 3 initiatives that legacy backup couldn't handle. The final leg of our digital transformation to virtualization, backup to the cloud, and industry audits.
Data availability is critically important during the NFL Draft and training camp, but it's also a necessity during the weeks leading up to game day and, of course, on game day. The last thing we need to worry about on game day is data availability. Without data availability, our digitized playbook is useless, leaving coaches and players in a lurch. Fan-facing systems in the stadium become obsolete. Ticket scanners won't work at entrance gates. Point-of-sale systems are inoperable at concession stands. Videos won't play on scoreboards. And Wi-Fi can't power fans' mobile apps. We don't worry about data availability with Veeam. Data is the Denver Broncos' digital backbone, and Veeam makes that data available 24/7, 365.
Great testimony. And when you consider the customer traction we're enjoying, especially in the enterprise in Fortune 500, you could see clearly that our vision of the digital, seamless digital, always-on availability is resonating in the market. We've now achieved over 245,000 customers in 142 countries around the globe. On average, through to 2016, we've added 4,000 new customers per month in the last 6-7 quarters. Our trajectory for growth is something we and our partners are extremely proud of. And we see no end to that momentum anytime soon. And if you look at the logos, you'll see that you're all in very good company. It's a huge responsibility for Veeam to protect 14 million of your virtual machines worldwide. And we take that responsibility very seriously. Our customers clearly like what we're delivering on our vision. And we take a lot of pride in our NPS score of 73. At VMware, I learned a lot about Net Promoter Score because it was built into my compensation plan, so I became an expert at it. But I also realized that, and I always thought VMware had a really good Net Promoter Score until I got to Veeam. Veeam's 73, which just went from high 60s to 73, is a really good indicator of the customer health in the future growth of our business. A 73 score is more than twice the industry average and ahead of the best technology companies in the industry. What isn't shown here is our renewal rate of 87% of our customers renew on support agreements. Also, tremendous amount of incredible customer case studies and testimonials. And thanks to all of you, we've had 34 consecutive quarters of year-over-year growth. In Q1, Veeam's business grew 33%. And our cloud business grew 60%, thanks to the support of our 47,000 partners around the globe. Almost every company in the world would love to have a slide that looks like this. And because we have a legacy, we feel as though we can achieve the growth targets that we set before us. How many companies do you know that in less than 9 years since its first product was released could reach almost $800 million? This growth has come from internally generated cash flow from day one. No outside investment, and it's been profitable since the start. For this to happen, we need great products, we need great employees, we need a fantastic ecosystem, and of course, great customers. And continue this growth, we've added over 1,000 employees over the past 12 months. And we have plans to add 800 more over the next 12 months. We've been innovating and iterating one of our core values for 10 years. We are the #1 cloud backup provider. We are the #1 in virtualization. We created the availability market and viewed by industry analysts as the #1 player in our space. Now Veeam is the first to enable 24/7, 365 business continuity for your digital life. We are only one piece, but we feel as though we are the foundation for the entire infrastructure. Without availability, nothing else works the way we want it, in the way you need it to work. Over the next 2 days, you're going to hear a lot more of what we're going to unveil in terms of the next generation of our availability platform for the multi-cloud world. Here's a little teaser, though, of what's to come. First is Veeam version 10, a major extension of our platform, extending availability to physical through Veeam agents and NAS storage, greatly improving RPOs to protect enterprise mission-critical applications and data, and reduce long-term retention costs with native object storage support. On the cloud, you're going to hear Paul Mathis tomorrow talk about a lot of our cloud announcements. But we now have almost over 15,000 managed service providers and cloud providers as part of our partner ecosystem. Our Microsoft partnership has been one of the strongest and deepest partnerships over the years, and we're going to take that further and deeper. And with a strategic investment we made in a company called N2WS, we're going to discuss an aggressive plans for how we're rolling out and working with AWS and many others. And last but not least is our strong partner community. Building on our strong previously announced development and go-to-market partnerships with HPE and Cisco and IBM, we're going to be discussing some exciting things we're going to do with VMware and a number of other companies. To enable digital life experience, Veeam's vision is to provide always-on availability for any service across any cloud. And I'm referring to public clouds like Amazon and Azure and Google, in critical SaaS applications like Office 365 or Salesforce.com, privately hosted and partner managed. Confidence in availability anywhere, anytime. To do this, we want to help our customers deliver fast pace of innovation, improve service delivery, and do so at the speed of business. It's your data, and you need to manage it, and no matter where the infrastructure is, and do it in a way that supports the speed your business is going. And Veeam is here to help, but we're not alone. Our partner ecosystem is vital to this vision, and we're proud to count some of the largest companies on the planet as strategic partners. Veeam is also partnering with best-of-breed solutions to extend our solution, our portfolio of offerings that you'll hear more about. As you look at Veeam's vision and how it's evolved, we're providing our customers with always-on availability, to provide customers with the assurance that critical services will be available when they need it. And that's our commitment to you. Remember, there are three themes that we're going to cover over the next 2 days. One, a dramatically expansion of our platform with depth and breadth. We're launching several initiatives with our cloud partners to drive our cloud-first strategy. And major investments in expanding our partner ecosystem. We see a bright digital future, and we're focused on providing seamless experience for anyone, anytime, any place. That's our goal. At Veeam, we understand your business challenges and your opportunities for growth. We can help you solve those challenges and take advantage of those business opportunities better than anybody else in the market. We have existing customer success stories and testimonials from large companies with similar issues and opportunities that you have. You can speak to those customers at any time. We want to show you that Veeam's customers are succeeding in the digital transformation. Over the next 2 days, enjoy exploring and delivering digital life experience for your customers, your employees, and your partners. But before I close, I talked to a lot of you over the past couple of days, and it was important for us to introduce the co-founder, a friend of mine, the #1 man, Mr. Ratmir Timoshev.
Good morning, team. Good morning, extended Veeam team. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to New Orleans.
So Ratmir, they told me the first question I have to ask you is how many pieces of green are you wearing?
Yeah, we have the new rule.
That we can see.
Yeah, we have the new rule, right? So you have to wear at least 1 piece of green, preferably 3. 5 or more is better.
So what do you have?
I have belt.
Where do you get a green belt?
I found it.
Okay, all right.
And I have socks.
Socks. Now let me ask you about this.
This counts as 1 piece, not 2.
Okay, good. Okay. So let me ask you, you wore green socks yesterday. Is that the same pair of green socks?
That's a good question. No, it was on sale. So 3 pairs for $18
Figured.
and 1 pair for $12. I got 3 pairs.
Ah, good for you. Okay,
One
so
for
tomorrow.
you. One for you.
Oh, good. So this last VeeamON, you were where I am, and so now you're kind of watching from the side. What do you think? How's it going?
Peter, you know that I really enjoy being on stage and in front of the large audience and giving the speeches and presentations. However, this time was an exception. I was coming to New Orleans and really relieved that I don't have to write my script, learn my script, prepare for the presentation, practice at midnight before the presentation. So I just came to really enjoy.
Yes.
Enjoy this show, talk to our customers, talk to our partners, and just have fun.
Yes.
So
must be nice.
It is,
yes.
Absolutely. I'm just enjoying myself. However, I mean, you know that in the evolution of any company, there is a time, I believe, when founders have to take on different role.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm very glad that I now have to worry much less about day-to-day operations and focus more on our strategy, on our investments, on our acquisition. That's my new role. But I'm very happy to have you now, and my travel is much less. Our execution is much better. Our team is much stronger, and we're just moving much faster. Veeam speed, but we're moving much faster. So I'm very happy to have you as part of our team. And in the last 10 months, we have done tremendous things, and so more things are coming.
So, as you notice, new brand, new logos. You were obviously the one who started it 10 years ago. So what do you think? The new look, the new feel?
I really, really, really love our new logo. I really love our new colors. They're still green, but now there is more green, deeper, lighter, darker. And I really like our waves. This is waves of data going through our digital life in multi-cloud environment.
Did you think of that?
Yes.
All right, well, that's good.
That's what I think when I look at these waves.
Good, good.
So those are data fabrics, right?
Got it.
But I remember 10 years ago when we started the company, we were thinking about the name for the company and the logo.
Yeah.
I don't know if some of you know what Veeam means.
It's coming.
It's coming. So basically, Veeam means very simple, VM, right? So virtual machine, VM. And that's our first logo. That's how we designed it. However, we had a user, big fan of Veeam. He came up with a different story, and he was a very famous blogger. His version of Veeam was different.
Yeah.
He said, Ratmir and Andrei were sitting in the morning, early morning, designing the logo and thinking about the name. So what the name means is 5:33 a.m. That's the time they come up with the new logo and the new name.
So why change it?
Again, it's been 10 years, successful 10 years. There will be another 10 years that is coming. So we need a new logo for the next 10 years. It's
good.
Much more dynamic, much more modern, agile, like the services that we're serving.
That's excellent. Well, thank you, Ratmir. And thank you all. Enjoy your VeeamON experience. We got to move aside and let the show continue. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks, Ratmir.
Thanks.